Up, we have Ruchi from Success Culture presenting. Now, Ruchi is a seasoned project manager and operations specialist and has worked with various sized organizations delivering a COO as a service offering. With just a couple of weeks to go before Christmas and everyone racing against the clock, trying to get their ducks in a row for 2024, we thought it was a good time for Ruchi to share some insights from the recent Gartner report, and also her insights on how you can apply that to your business. So with that, I will hand over to Ruchi.
Thank you, Kavita. And warning, I have 30 years of corporate experience behind me, so I love death by PowerPoint. So you guys can see my screen? Awesome. Okay, so I thought rather than presenting my business, let me give it to you from a lens of Gartner. So I'm a subscriber to Gartner, and very conveniently, the report dropped in my inbox just as Kavita asked me to become a speaker on this session today. So the report is the top priority for leaders in 2024. And as you know, Gartner does a lot of research, and their research showed up 5 priorities. So leader and manager development being one. And what I did was I selected for the purpose of this presentation some of the stats that I found meaningful and I guess useful based on my experience. And what the report says is that 75% of the HR leaders say that their managers are overwhelmed by growth of their job responsibilities. They actually don't feel that they are equipped to carry out their jobs adequately. The second priority was organizational culture. There is a lot of conversation around hybrid culture. And, through COVID, we wanted people to be working from home was fine. Now COVID is finished and people are now wanting to bring their workforce back, but we've got used to working from home. There's complaints. How is hybrid culture breaking down organizational culture? The younger generation's coming in and they're going, where are the older people? How are we going to learn? We can't learn on our own. So 47% of the HR leaders, they don't know how to drive change to achieve the desired culture. And one of the things that the report talks about is building emotional proximity over geographical proximity. So it's not about sitting next to each other. It's about being connected. So you feel the proximity despite the distance. And for a few of us who probably have come from the larger corporate cultures, this is not a new concept, right? I know I've been working with geographically displaced or distributed teams for most of my career. And I started work when it was teleconferencing or not even video conferencing. And we did it then. So hybrid's just become a buzzword now, but organizations have had to deal with forever. The third priority has been technology, and particularly HR technology. And there's a lot of conversation around AI today. But I guess the question is, how do we use technology? So 56% of HR leaders, according to the report, confirm that the HR technology solutions and strategies do not match their current and future business needs. And it's a wonder, right? Because look at the buzz around AI right now. Everyone wants to jump on the AI bandwagon. But what we are not asking ourselves is, what do we need? What is the outcome that we want to produce? And based on that outcome, what is the technology that we need? So we're trying to put the cart before the horse. So first, let's look at the need, look at the gap, and then go fill the gap with the right solution rather than jumping on the bandwagon. The fourth one is change management. And what the report found was that 73% of the HR leaders confirmed that they are not equipped to lead change. And 77% of the leaders said that employees are fatigued of change. Again, it's not a wonder because there is so much change happening on such a large scale, whether we're talking AI, whether we're talking Gen Zs trying to work with, not just the Gen Xs, but baby boomers. It's such a huge change canvas. And the last but not the least priority is career management and internal mobility. So how do they attract and keep talent? So 66% of HR leaders agree that career paths within their organization are not compelling. That's why people are jumping. And, as the newer generations coming into the workforce, they have very clear idea of what they're going to work with, what do they want. And if you're not catering for them, we're not doing a good job. So these are some of the core findings of the report, which I thought were really fascinating. So what that leads us into is the need of the hour. So leadership capability focused on employee first. We've been through the times of, the product and then the customer. Today, what we're saying is focus on your employees. And Ken talked about selfishness, health selfishness. Similarly, focus on what's in your hands, your employees. They are your asset. They will then push your business forward and, focus on the customers. Strong organizational culture based on emotional proximity rather than geographical proximity. So focus on building connection. Don't focus on bringing them into work. That's not the outcome you're looking for. Business process excellence using technology as an enabler, not as a fashion fad statement. Co-creation of change. So involve your team, involve your staff, involve your employee in co-creating the change that you're looking for. Get them to bring their ideas, because collaboratively, you'll make something bigger than just what you would have presented yourself. And career management and internal mobility, that's the next need of the hour, which interestingly is connected to that leadership capability focused on employees first. So what does my business offer in today's landscape then? We offer leadership capability uplift through training and executive coaching. The training is all transformational and focused on people, getting the best out of people. Business process improvement that's done on a project basis, and COO-as a Service. So what I'm finding is more and more businesses are looking for that fractional, COO, Chief Operating Officer presence. They don't want a full-time operator, but they need someone who is embedded in their business. And that is because if you look at every business is an interaction of people and processes. So how do you make your processes efficient through using your people as an asset, not as a resource? That is really every business, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what the size is, every business needs that. And that is becoming loud and clear. And that's one of the core offerings that we have now. So what makes me equipped to create this business and offer the services I offer? It's my 30 years of corporate leadership experience. So Kavita said I'm a seasoned project manager. I've learned through, baptized by fire. I was called, or I used to call myself, the cleaning lady of the corporate world. So all the crappy projects that nobody could lead and complete used to come to me, and I would turn them around. That was my specialty. And I did that through the people that, who were my team. It was the way they responded to the leadership I provided. And that is the core of the basis of success culture. How do you create those environments, those empowering environments where people feel compelled to bring their best and give you their best, so that your success is invested in their success and vice versa, their success is invested in your success. So that's me. And who do we help? Anyone. We don't discriminate. Anyone who's invested in the growth of their business and anyone who's wanting to improve productivity of their business. So that's a few minutes from me. Any questions? Happy to answer. Otherwise, we go back to networking. Rudy. Yes, I'm sure, Kavita, I'll send you a PDF and I'm sure we can share that.
That's right. So I will be sharing the slides post the call. So I'll send it out to everyone, as will I the recording.
Ruchi, I have a question.
Sure.
In relation to hybrid working, I read recently the Productivity Commission says that productivity is back to 2016 levels, and the Fair Work Commission recently had a judgment where they said that productivity within a business could be a rationale for saying that employees needed to work from the office as opposed to working from home. What are your clients saying in terms of hybrid working? Are they saying that it is creating a productivity issue for their staff?
The people feel that it is creating, but the training programs that I have will show you that actually geography can be, it doesn't matter. Unless you have to touch a person and feel the person, you can still work productively. Because if you look at it from a practical perspective, getting onto a bus or driving into work, looking for parking, then finding a desk space, etc., is also productivity loss. So the report actually tells you, and that is my experience, it is about that emotional proximity. So how do you create those connections where people know to reach out to each other? You create a collaborative environment where people know that they have team members that they can reach out to. So there are ways to make it happen where you forget that you're not sitting closely. Because, you talk to anybody who's worked in a multinational company. I mean, Kavita's got the experience as well. I've had instances, I've had teams in India, I've had teams in Sydney, but varied. So I used to, the CBA was a big client once upon a time, and I had teams in Pitt Street and Burwood, So you cannot be geographically together. So we just have to learn how to create those collaborative environments where you can work in a hybrid environment.
Okay, thank you so much, Ruchi. I feel like there are a few more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. One more question.
I got a question. This stuff has been known for a long while. How come all sorts of organizations aren't operating like this?
Yes, Eric. I think one day I'll write a whole book on that.
So what blocks the way to this? Because this stuff is talked all over the place on LinkedIn for years.
Look,
why is it not normal?
I'll try and answer it very quickly and hopefully briefly. So the word I used with myself was authentic, right? Now, what comes with authenticity is there needs to be a bit of confidence as well. When you don't have the confidence, what do you look for? You look for frameworks. You look for success measures that someone else has given you so you can tick them off. So unless you can tick them off, you don't feel you've achieved. And that tick box culture then actually interferes with delivering outcomes, because I am looking for, so Samantha mentioned Fair Work. I've got a client who's had Fair Work involved with one of, there were some issues with the staff. Now the Fair Work person has come and said, I can't do anything to help you because this is beyond me. Because their job is to come look at your processes and tick off. That's how most of the world works, because that makes us comfortable. Someone like me comes and says, what's your problem? Let's solve your problem. Have I taken care of that difficult staff member of yours? Have I given you a pathway that people can work together? That to me is success. So I think there's an interference between compliance or the need to show compliance versus getting transformation. That's the best answer I have for that, Eric.
That's a great one.
Thank you, Ruchi. So we've just